I do talk a lot about crime, about retail crime on the show, and the fact that retail theft in particular has reached staggering levels. In New Zealand, an estimated 2.6 billion in losses each year, double the figure from a decade ago. Stories of people walking out of supermarkets with trolleys of goods with no intention of paying, knowing fully well that they can't be stopped. Many retailers will say the potential of dealing with a violent person is just not worth it. But as a society, we are fed up and sick of feeling helpless. In fact, we heard in the news that that retail, in fact, I think it led the bulletin, that the Retail Association said that 99% of retailers have, in the last year, either had something happen to them or they've come across something, and 40% do not pass this on to the police. So there's something definitely wrong there. So there have been calls for changes in the laws, beefing up citizens' arrest, the right to restrain, and allowing store security guards, to use reasonable force. These suggestions have met with concern, yes, and my old mates, Retail Association, they believe facial recognition and AI is the way to go. But amid mounting frustration, some business owners and residents are resorting to posting images of alleged offenders that they capture on their security cameras. They put them in shop windows, post them on social media. If you have a neighbourhood app, which I've got, just to see what the neighbourhood's doing, most weekends someone puts up a picture. Who is this turkey in my driveway? Someone was trying to get into my car. Do you know who this person is? And what is the legality, though, of doing this? Is there a possibility of incurring potential defamation lawsuits, especially if the individual is misidentified or a minor? Well, joining me now, good friend of the show, senior barrister Marie Dyhrberg. Marie, good to see you today.
Hello, Leah. Good to see you again as well.
Look at us rocking the red. Don't know, looking good today. We're a colourful bunch. Hey, Marie, can I start first with retail theft, which is clearly an issue? 2.6 billion is a massive number. Some shop owners are posting photos of alleged thieves in their windows or online. Can they do that legally?
Now, it's a very vexed question, and my starting point on this, Leah, is to say that when people name and shame, because that's actually what they're doing, as well as probably thinking they're doing a good thing by showing these are people to watch out for if they come into your shop.
Yeah.
Whilst it is legal to actually do this, you leave yourself open to yourself being charged with criminal offences or worse, civil offences, whereby if you are found to have done the wrong thing, misnamed somebody, misshown somebody, somebody hasn't been given the right to defend charges in court and so forth, you could be hit with hefty compensation payments. I know that it must be horribly frustrating for everybody who retail business, and justice, and particularly the terrible scenes that we hear about where people just roll out a trolley that you've already mentioned, filled with items, and they just say, "So stop me." The arrogance of that. And inside us all, I'm sure we have thoughts about how we would probably like to stop them. So what are the answers? The answers are the old standard responses that are not really being dealt with. I have always believed that money is better spent through the police budget and the crime budget, instead of throwing a whole lot of people in jail that don't necessarily have to be there. Put a bracelet on them, get the policeman on the beat, get some sort of compensation for businesses that they can put security people, proper licensed security people in their shops. But absolutely, we have to put it back on the government, on the police, to say, you are taking away business from someone, but you are very much at risk if you think that you can just go ahead and publish images and allegations of people being shoplifters if they're not. Worse, if they are charged, if they are found to be somebody that is a suspect, if they go to court, you can argue as a defence lawyer and say, then they jumped the gun and now I'm being identified, everybody's identifying me, they're identifying what I've done, and the case is just going to get chucked out.
Really?
So hard as you cannot publish. You shouldn't. Legally you can, but you need to be incredibly careful where you're publishing and why, and stating why are you publishing. You call somebody a thief, you better be on very solid ground.
Right. Okay. So legally they can do it. So a retailer can trespass. What if this person's already been trespassed and they walk in? Of course, they can ring the police. But in the meantime, they still take something and walk out. Legally, obviously, the retailer can continue to put that person's picture up. Yes?
Well, yes, but so long as they themselves they can put something up and say somebody's trespassed. But if somebody wants to take them to task and say, I should not be trespassed, you've got my photo up there, you prove that I actually stole from your shop. And the only way you can really do that is if somebody is convicted of that, because otherwise you are just saying that the retailer is saying you are a shoplifter, and you go back and say, where's your proof? And now you picked the wrong person. I'm going to get defamation proceedings against you, and you're going to have to pay a lot of money. So how does somebody prove that somebody is a shoplifter? That's your slippery slope. That is the danger to retailers.
Let's look at, say, private cameras, Marie. So, security cameras like we have around our house. Most people have them nowadays. And I caught someone on my camera at 3 a.m. Trying to break into my car, and they couldn't get in, and they've left the driveway. They were on my land. They were on my property. Can I put that up on the neighbourhood kind of, chat Facebook and say, does anyone know this person?